Okay, so what can I divide out of 8 and 14? 2. So we're going to divide out of 2, and then we can take t squared out of t squared and t cubed. So we're going to divide out 2t squared out of the first 2 terms. And then what can I divide out of the next 2 terms? 5, good. Alright, so we can divide out a positive 5 out of the next 2. Again, some of you will find it helpful to write that plus 5 instead of just 5. And now we take that 2t squared, write it in front of the parenthesis, and then 8t cubed divided by 2t squared is 4t. And then 14 on this fraction, the t squareds are going to cancel, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. Take that plus 5 right after that first parenthesis. And then again we end up with 20t divided by 5 is 4t. 35 divided by 5 is not that, 7. And then this is where I'm not going to show that step of dividing out the 4t plus 7. I'm just going to go ahead and just write it one time. And then I'm going to take what I have left, the 2t squared and the 5, and that makes up my second parenthesis. Okay? Any questions? I know somebody out there has a question. Don't be chicken, just ask. Chickens. Okay.
I'm just confused what you did here.
You got to ask it like at what point?
How did you get the last part? The last part?
2t squared plus 5. So the step I skipped was dividing this term by 4t plus 7. Dividing this term by 4t plus 7. Because when you do that, the 4t plus 7's cancel. That's where the 2t squared came from, right? And here the 4t plus 7's cancel. And that's where that 5 comes from. Okay? So sometimes it's just a little quick question. All right, Charlotte's good now, she gets it. So if any of you rest you punks have a question, let me know. Because we've only got 2 more problems and then you guys got homework time. Okay, so actually, since you guys are doing so well, why don't you do this one on your own? Give it a shot. What can you factor out of the first 2 terms? And then what you can factor out of the next 2 terms? Anastasia, I was wondering what you were smiling at. It's your dog getting you to stare down, huh? Nice. Cute little doggy. I'll show you my parents' little dog because it's pretty cute as well. Cute little doggy, huh? That thing is the most pretentiously named dog in the history of dogs. The breed is the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. They're so cute. We had 4 of them growing up, and I had one that could jump, I kid you not, like 5 feet in the air to get its back feet like above the counter. It was like the Michael Jordan of Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. Right, Megan? You're working hard on that problem, I can tell. Not at all. Can you guys believe it? You only have 3 weeks left of this class. It freaks Austin out every time I say that. Lauren, that's a good expression.
Really fun, okay?
I know, sad. What do you, yeah, hopefully you got another, there's lots of fun teachers, so they kind of broke the mold when they made me, but I'm unique as a teacher, very unique as a math teacher. I like how Rutledge, we just get the eyes in the hoodie, nothing else. Now just, yep, that's it. Look at everyone's got their hoodies now. You should have your friends turn the heat up if you got to wear a hoodie inside. So do the little hand raise thing when you're done like Cole did. Cole, remember. Good job, Cole. Okay, good. I got some others who remembered. Wait for a couple more to finish. Megan's just going to lie and put her leg up because she worked so hard on that problem. She's throwing her hands up. Throwing the hands up. Yeah, Lauren was about to start dancing. I saw that. Nice. All right, looks like everyone's done or pretending to be done, one of the two. So we can divide out a 4r squared and a positive 3 out of the last group of terms. So we take that 4r squared and write it in front of the parenthesis. And when I divide this first fraction, 20 divided by 4 is 5. 3r's divided by 2r's has 1 r left. The r squareds cancel on the second fraction. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So just remember, you guys, you gotta have 5r plus 2 as your second parenthesis over here. So bring down the plus 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5r. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Don't forget to take your little hand raising down. And then your two parentheses are 4r squared plus 3 and 5r plus 2. Raise your actual hand if you got it correct. That was a kind of shade. Mostly? Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. So the next one, you guys, is going to have a greatest common factor. So I know we factored out a greatest common factor of the first two terms and then the last two terms, but this one has a greatest common factor for all four. So that's where we're going to factor it out, write it way down below, and just remember to write it in the end. This is the last example from Chapter 8. Very exciting. So the question to all of you guys is, what can you divide out of... Oh, Anna, I like the new tile. What can you divide out of all four of those? I'll give you a hint, it's not 2 or 3. Yeah, Austin, good job. More? Volpe, random hand up, or do you have a question? 6, good job, yeah. So we can divide out of 6 out of all four terms. Okay? So then I'm just going to write that 6 way down here and just put a couple circles around it so I don't forget to include it in the end. Right? Like, this is the kind of crap I did as a high school student because I knew I would forget to write that 6 at the end, and it just totally pissed me off when my teacher took points off, even though it was totally justified, right? But just make sure you remember that. So doing obnoxious things like that, circling it with a whole variety of colors, will help you. So we have 4x cubed plus 10x squared plus 6x plus 15. So we can divide out a 2x squared out of the first two. And we can divide a positive 3 out of the next two. So then we have 2x squared in front, and I just have 2x left in the first fraction, and 5 from the second fraction. I bring down my positive 3 next. 6x divided by 3 is 2x. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So as I said before, if your parentheses are not the same, it means you screwed something up. One nasty little trick they play on you, which they do it on the very first problem in the homework, of course, is the only thing you can factor out of 2 of the 4 terms is a 1. So just know that you can just divide out a 1. Totally legal, still works. It's just weird, that's all. So our final answer here, don't forget, includes our lovely multicolor 6. And then we've got 2x squared. We've got the positive 3. And then we just take this parenthesis and write it one time. Okay? Why what?
Why is there a 3 there on the first section?
From that, that's all. Now, it's a good question because there's a lot going on in these problems, and it's easy to get kind of lost along the way and get all confused. So if you need, erase the whole thing and just start over, or just like have it up and then do it off to the side.
I was thinking that was the first one. I was thinking that was one of the 2x plus 5.
I gotcha. And remember, you guys, you can also write it like this, totally fine. You always want to write the double parenthesis first and write what's left second. Doesn't matter. Either or is fine. Okay. So remember, you did have homework on Monday. Remember, I never post homework. Well, you can never say never. I always say that. But I generally do not post homework until 12:30. That involved me on the road yesterday, stopping in front of a Starbucks. I didn't even go inside. Stole their Wi-Fi, and because I forgot to post the actual assignment, I posted what it was. I just didn't post the actual assignment. Felt kind of smart. You know, it happens. Okay, so your homework is page 531. It's only 5 problems plus 2 challenge problems. 13 through 21 odd. And then your challenge problems are 41 and 44. So, we only have 3 weeks left of the semester. Remember, I cut off missing assignments. I haven't told you this yet, but I am cutting off missing assignments on the 14th. So 2 weeks from Monday. So 2 weeks from yesterday, missing assignments, no mas. Okay? So you've got to get that stuff in. So if you got a ton of missings, make sure you do them, get them in. I'm not taking late credit, or, you know, I'm not taking points off for lateness. So just do them. If your grade is suffering right now, make sure that you take the quizzes. Because if you're missing quizzes, that just destroys your grade. Okay? So make sure you get those quizzes done. Challenge problems. If you end up at a 89.4 and you've done challenge problems, I will just give you the A. You will just get it. If you've done no challenge problems and you end up right on the border, remember, a 0.5 I round. So 89.5 is an A, 79.5 is a B, and so on down the line. 59.5 is a D. You pass, you don't have to take Algebra 1 over again. But if you end up at a 59.4 and you haven't done any of those challenge problems, then you're going to fail, right? Or you'll end up with a B or a C or a D, whatever. Okay, so make sure you try some challenge problems. You must get them right to get the credit, okay? But all of you can do it, especially if you've got 95 or higher. Give it a shot. I will switch to the assignment here. There you go. So bust a move on that. Feel free to ask questions.